as we bring in our special guest. $1,000 we raised yesterday with a special guest. I had to dial up the big guy here. Our guy Tyson Bagent making a special appearance today in the middle of Packers Week. Tice, what's up? Thank you. Appreciate you.
Carm, CHGO, what is happening? Yes, big week for the organization. Thank you guys for having me on. You know I appreciate you, Carm.
You're a routine guy. You've got like a Kobe-esque, Mamba mentality, and now they're giving you Wednesday off, and you're at home. You got to feel like completely out of pocket right now.
Nah, well, we had an abnormal Tuesday, so it's just I think he just didn't want to give us 4 days off in a row. Get everybody's bodies going again. So we had a full day yesterday. Now the off day has been moved to Wednesday, but I thought it was a nice little change. I think guys will go into Thursday, third down day, feeling refreshed and ready to roll.
So take us back to last week, and a couple people might have doubted that you guys could go in and beat the Eagles. A guy by the name of Carm and Braggs actually on the show might have actually picked Philly to win the game, which is on us, and we got to look in the mirror on that one because we just didn't realize what was coming as well as we should have. But can you take us through sort of the week of practice and the way you guys were working the run game going into it? Did you have you're always confident, but did you have a certain sense before this game, like we are about to go off on this Philly team?
Yeah, I think that through the whole week, I think Ben and the whole staff did an excellent job at putting in a lot of carryover plays, things that we already were very familiar with, but just adding wrinkles to it to kind of make it look different to the defense. I thought that there was that aspect of it, and I thought the way that the leaders on the team kind of were spreading the news of like, hey man, this is a early game, like this is a Friday game. We got to get our bodies right. That's the main focus. Get your bodies right. Get your bodies right. It's going to be cold. People are still going to be sore, and I think that because we did such a good job of that, we were able to just punish those cats up front, and we were able to see the 120 plus game from two separate guys in one game. I mean, it was unbelievable how we were running the ball, which was needed. If you were there, you felt the wind. It was a strange weather day, so to be able to just handle those boys on a short week in the elements, I think that it was a huge jump in the right direction.
I mean, do you think that's kind of what's making you guys kind of feel like you're as dangerous as you've been all year? Because you hear Ben Johnston talk about making the same things look different things look the same. And I imagine, like, to start the year, there was a lot of installing an offense, trying to figure out what you guys can do best. But now that you've stacked weeks and you've implemented so many different, playbooks, and game plans week to week, now you're using this motion that we're seeing every week, this tight end, the 13 personnel, and all this stuff is kind of culminating to where you can kind of use the game plans you've used early in the season against teams now preparing for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, through conversations that I have with defensive guys on our team, throughout the facility, the conversation is mostly when talking about football. They just talk about how, when they go against us, all their rules are being tested every play because all of the moving pieces that are happening, when you change up the snap count to go on just on the cheetah, which is just when Drew gets up there, gives a head nod, and just snaps it himself. You mix in cadence, we get the free plays in Pittsburgh. Ben and the staff, they're constantly finding ways to test the defender's rules every single play. Like there's no breather plays for the defense, and I think that mental wear and tear throughout the game, I think is then what allows us to just continue to be like super aggressive and on the gas pedal and always feel like the defense is on their heels. So I think they've done a great job of that, and I can sense it through watching it and through just having conversations with defensive-minded people in the building.
People are worried in the chat, Tice, that the baby monitor is going off and you got duties going on here. I saw
that's hilarious. That is the baby monitor. That's funny as shit. But I don't care. I don't care. Hey, I mean, she's got to be able to just cry, right? Like, my goodness. You gotta suffer a little bit. Holy shit.
I already said earlier in the show that nothing matters this week except the Bears-Packers game. So my daughter Addie can fend for herself until Sunday because it's about game day. So I like the focus.
That's our leader here, and I love what you're doing. She's building that toughness. That's exactly, she's going to follow in her dad's footsteps. We know this. Okay, you get in the locker room. You get ready for good, better, best. Then all of a sudden we're getting the shirt ripped off here. Did A, did you know he was that cut? B, did you know it was coming? And C, like, dude's feeding the city. He's giving out hot dogs. This guy just there's no end to Ben here.
Yeah, I thought it was weird. But then I figured out that the hot dogs were involved, and then I was all about it. Let's freaking go. Yes, I knew he was that jacked. Just because his chest and his posterior, his posterior chain, he's put together. So I knew that was the case. But in all honesty, I thought it was amazing, and he just has a way of knowing what to do right at the right time. And you can see it in all these videos. The culture is just through the roof right now.
Yeah, I've heard in the offseason that he can squat 400. Can you tell us, have you seen him in the gym and working out? Can you tell us anything about his workout routine? Are some of these stories true?
I would say that is probably more true than not true. I will say that I also I've never seen him in the weight room, but I've heard stories. And I know that he is consistently in the weight room as much as he can be. I know nobody kind of is right now just because, we're deep into this thing, which I think he kind of hinted towards in one of his interviews, which makes total sense. But I did hear a story of in the spring, I was getting treatment. And the trainer giving me treatment said that he had been in there at like 5:30 in the morning under the squat rack talking to himself. And I didn't know it. I didn't know him that well at that point. But now, fast forward however many months of being around him and kind of having a better understanding of who he is, it's right on par. I could completely see him doing something like that.
Have you asked him, hey, coach, off season, CrossFit, let's see what you got. I'm going to be getting after it like you wouldn't believe. This is a no off day guy. You know this right here. 17 is going to be doing it. Maybe he can show up for a workout.
Nah, I don't think that's his wheelhouse. Nor do I think he would be interested. Nor do I think that I'm under the impression that when the season ends, that he'll just be getting ready for next season.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like that. It's like, it's just this weird thing about him. I can't even he's so in it. Like, it's just like, I just feel like he'll just be getting ready for the next season. Like, he wants the Bears to win the next 20 Super Bowls in a row. Like, that's how hard he's working. So I wouldn't want to put him through one of my workouts. That might distract his fucking plan for about 2-3 days because he'll be hemmed up in bed.
Yeah, they don't give those workouts away. It ain't easy coming out of there. You got like the most fit dudes ever on the last one that I showed up at, and he was on that couch dying afterwards. I forget whoever won the Rogue Fitness Power looked at. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Tyson. This rookie class is certainly making a big impact for the team. Fairly general question, but who of these rookies has surprised you the most?
I would say obviously the biggest surprise has been Kyle. I would say just I think we've consistently seen him get better through the season and get more and more comfortable and kind of gel with those big boys up front. And he runs the ball as hard as I've ever seen anybody run the ball, and has protected the ball, been where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there, and has really been. He's been a good bit of juice for us these past couple weeks. So I think that the biggest, when talking about surprises, I think that it's been how well he's been able to do week in and week out.
Let's go back to, you were talking about just the locker room and the leaders in there going up to Philly. Who's taking control in there? Who's really planting that flag of this is where we're headed?
Yeah, I mean, we have a plethora of elite veterans on this team, which is, I think has been also another pleasant surprise. Just how many, not only just high caliber players physically, but also on the mental and kind of motivational side of things. We've been able to get lucky in that department too. I think that a few just right off the top of my dome piece are, you've got Kevin Byard, who's been exceptional, just a true alpha dog, ball hawk, freaking receiver playing safety. So you got Kevin Byard, you got Grady Jarrett, who's also been, unbelievable. You got nobody's leading by example more than freaking the big boys up front. I mean, they're getting after it. They're in practice they're in practice yesterday with the pads on. I mean, getting after it. So this is a crew that, they are, elite and kind of just paving the way. And you can see as like guys like freaking Ozzy just, come onto the scene. And, you got Dan Rochar, Kyle Devan, and those veteran leaders up front that'll just make it a little bit easier for a guy to, jump in when everybody else is so confident. So I just think we have a lot of guys that do the right things at a high level when people are watching and when nobody's watching. And then as far as the vocal side of things, like I said, I think Kevin Byard, I think Grady Jarrett, they do a great job of getting their point across, as well as 95% of the coaches also do on our team.
The Tooney factor is real, right? I mean, this dude coming in here with the 4 Super Bowls, that's a big time ad. Like, shout out Ryan Post for the Tooney.
That's a conspiracy. It is a conspiracy at this point. Joe Tooney is a magnet for W's. That is for sure.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's truly. I mean, this offensive line has just been incredible. And obviously a big recipient of that O-line has been Caleb Williams. And you being in that quarterback room, just curious what you've seen here from what you guys are trying to do as a quarterback room and what you've seen from Caleb from the start of training camp all the way to here at 9-3 and how this team has progressed. Obviously, every step Caleb takes, every move he makes is broken down pretty tight. So I'm just curious from your perspective how it's looked inside that room.
Yeah, as far as the room goes, I mean, it doesn't get much better than the one we have. I mean, JT has done an exceptional job kind of building a culture within that quarterback room, as well as Case Keenum also just being, unbelievable in the amount of information and stories that he has to tell to help everybody else in the room, JT, me, Caleb. So I love all that. And then obviously you have Caleb, who I think just has, obviously is as hungry as ever and has a coaching staff also that is just as hungry as ever. And those two just working together, every single day. In camp we saw it. It wasn't the cleanest thing ever in the world, but the constant Caleb learning, the coaches coaching at an extremely high level. And I just saw one day where I was just like, oh man, this dude is smooth now. And then once you get to that point where you're in command, you're in control of what's going on, that's when you see his Houdini magic even come to life more, because now the guy that's coming free isn't surprising him. He knows that if that guy comes, that guy will be free, or he can see these things and feel these things now, because I think, he's got a year under his belt, and also just, a 5-star staff to come in and work for every day. And I think his, hungriness and eagerness to learn the ins and outs of the offense has shown up on the field, and I think that's why you just see the pre-snap process is at an elite level right now, which then I think allows all of his other Superman traits to come into factor. So I think it's been fun to watch. Yes, every move he makes is under a freaking microscope, which I think makes it even that more impressive. When you can be rolling out to your left, you got your number one option open in the flat. I'm throwing that 100 out of 100 times. I'm throwing the ball to Swift, but he gives a little pump fake and hits the home run down the field to freaking Cole Kmet. So it's like little things like that are, why he was the number one pick in the world and why I think that he's continued to get better throughout this year.
So let's wrap up with you're running the scout team this week. You don't want to play that much better than Jordan Love just to mess these guys up. But what's on you this week as far as helping everybody get ready for the big Packer game?
I mean, same old shit for me, man. I'm gonna just go in there every day. As soon as practice starts, I'm gonna freaking flip the switch and compete as hard as I can, and hopefully that will freaking give the defense an exceptional Green Bay look. I'm going to take extreme pride in getting the scout team offense in and out of the huddle, making it look as smooth as possible, getting all the identifications correct, trying to be, as Jordan Love-esque as I can with the hard counts and try to exploit the defense all week, and hopefully that gears the guys up. It seems to have been working so far. So let's freaking keep this thing going. We got to be ready to play in the elements, which, we had a 2-hour practice yesterday outside. It doesn't get much colder than that. So I think the guys are going to be juiced up, ready to go. And we'll have all those little fancy heaters and sideline coats and all that stuff and be ready to go, at Lambeau Field in the freaking butt cold.
High of 17, low of 0.
I mean, how big was that win, to end last season? Obviously, it was the start of this calendar year. So you guys, ended an 11-game losing streak that us Bears fans have had to wear on the chin every game. And I know you guys are each team is kind of a new iteration. So you guys kind of walk into something bigger than just a specific game. How big was that win last year to kind of catapult to what everything's going on right now and return to Lambeau from a 10-game losing streak to now 9-3 the next time you get to Lambeau?
Yeah. I think that's all just for the fans, man. I mean, to us in that locker room, I don't even think that seems like it was 10 years ago when we went to Lambeau and beat them at the end of the season. That was like a whole new staff. I don't know what coaches were coaching what at that point. There had been so much like moving pieces around. That just seems like so long ago. And now we got new staff, we got new players, we got, everything's new. They got new stuff, plenty of new things going on as well. So I think it's cool for the fan bases to kind of, sit and talk and make fun about that. But as far as we're concerned, this is a completely new team and we're just looking to go 1-0. But we also know it's going to be juiced in there because this is the oldest rivalry in football. So everybody's excited about that as well.
Let's go. Get that dub.
17, appreciate you making time. You're the best. We appreciate it. Go get them. Continued
Let's
success.
go.
Good luck with the baby.
Absolutely.
Let Carmen Braggs know if we can.
Congrats again on that, man.
I appreciate that.
It was super cool seeing the video coming out of Soldier Field. The family was all jacked. That was awesome. So, all right. Tice, be good. We'll talk to you soon.
Let's go, Tice. Beat Green Bay.
Appreciate you guys. Let's go. Appreciate you guys.